Greetings everyone, OldClassicGamer here, and we're here with a brand new topic of discussion, and we have a guest commentator with us who joined us to discuss this topic, especially because he was the one who actually informed me of this whole controversy. So, introduce yourself please.
Hey, I'm SNAGGLEBEE'S. Nice to meet you.
And we are here to discuss a brand new controversy regarding limited run games. So, Snagglebee, since you were the first one to brought this to my attention, could you tell the audience what happened?
Sure. So, it was a Friday morning. I was actually just checking my emails. Unexpectedly, then I saw that Limited Run Games was announcing that they are selling the Jak and Daxter games. Not just the first games, but they are going to re-release all of the 4 Jak and Daxter games that are currently available on the PlayStation Store for PS4.
Oh, that sounds like a very, very good plan. I mean, Jak and Daxter is one of the Naughty Dog's best series. Some people even consider it better than Uncharted when it comes to storytelling and gameplay. So, they must have planned this very, very good. I mean, you don't want to screw up with a franchise like that. There are tons of fans who are just waiting for the opportunity to get the releases like that, right?
Sure, there are tons of fans, but apparently in Sony's eyes, those tons of fans are just 4,000 fans.
Oh.
Or 5,000 rather.
Oh, Sony, these are some serious miscalculations here. I mean, did Sony even think about how much did these games sold back in PlayStation 2 times? And now before someone compares like how much did this sell digitally, let's point out already that most of the fans who have this game, they already have a physical copy for PlayStation 2 and perhaps PlayStation 3, and most of those people did not want to buy PS4 versions because the problems present in other version, like a PlayStation Vita version, they were not fixed. And to be honest, the people keep saying that playing these games is more enjoyable on PS3 right now than on PS4. So, of course, it didn't sell well digitally. But if you're a collector and if you are going to include collector's edition, that changes everything. Even if the game is maybe not fully fixed, the true fans are always ready to purchase it to show support for physical releases, right?
That is the case. As for limited run games, they have announced that they are going to sell a standard edition which only comes with the game and a limited edition, which, well, they all are limited edition, but I rather meant that the collector's edition, that's also even more rare. Let me check. It's actually limited to 2,500 copies, which is way too low in my opinion.
Oh.
But that one is exactly that version that everyone wanted, which included a metal Precursor orb, some cards, and even a memory card, which is like a USB, but it's like a memory card, a PS2 memory card.
Yeah,
you have to see that one.
That sounds very interesting, like a whole package, but why so little copies? Like, come on, there are much more fans than that of Jak and Daxter. Jak and Daxter is one of the most successful series on the PlayStation 2. So how could they possibly think that having only 2,500 copies of this collector's edition can be enough? Like, there has to be some reasoning. What could be behind this? What was the problem?
To be honest, I don't know exactly what went wrong, but from what I keep hearing is that Sony has its playing here, that they didn't want that many copies to be printed.
Well, this could be because Sony trusted the digital sales way too much, and they did not realize the potential this franchise has. I mean, they just thought that the game was not selling well because people don't like it. But in reality, the reason why the digital editions of PS4 version were not being sold well is because they have performance issues, and this is not the case of console being very weak, because let's be honest, this is a PS4, and in theory PS4 should be able to play all Jak and Daxter games 60 frames per second, 4K resolution without any glitch, because this is after all a PlayStation 2 title, and you can't convince me that they cannot optimize the game to work 4K 60 frames per second. It's just people don't want to waste time to do it, and whoever was handling this port just rushed it and didn't care for optimization.
Well, you have to keep remembering that the PS4 titles are actually just the PS2 ports. They're, from what I know, are just emulating the game, while the PS3 re-release is the correct remaster, which has the 60 FPS.
Yeah, that's why I don't understand. Why would they try to, like, we know that the PS2 emulator for PlayStation 4 is not perfect. There are plenty of evidences that there are problems with that, and like, if you have a hacked PS4 and if you wanna add custom games, there are gonna be tons of games who are gonna have some performance issues because the emulator is not fully developed to be flawless, and that's alright, because the hardware of PlayStation 2 and PlayStation 4 it's very different, so you can't just have it perfectly emulated. But what I don't understand is, why couldn't they do the same thing like the PS3 version, like remaster it from scratch? Was it to save time, development cost? Was it just easier for them to package it with emulator? Did they really not care about the games that much?
I think it was more licensing issues, because the remaster was handled by a different company, while the PS4 release is actually just titled or published by Naughty Dog and Sony themselves.
Oh yes, I think the people who made the PS3 remaster were Mass Media or something like that. I know they had some elephant logo on their company, but I forgot their full name. Maybe it's something like Mass Media related. But if this is not correct, I apologize. I don't know why that name was stuck in my head, but couldn't they just make that team develop a PS4 port of the PS3 remasters? Like, were there some deal problems with them? Did they like cut contract with them? I don't know. But the main point is, during a pre-order from the website, there was one very weird thing. Each person could order up to two copies of it. So, in my opinion, this was a very bad idea, because if somebody wanted, they could buy 2 collector's editions and then resell the other one for huge prices.
That's exactly what happened, which is quite weird, because the usual collector's editions from limited run games were all limited to 1 per customer.
Yeah, was this a mistake which was not fixed in time, or was this done on purpose? What could be behind this? Like, I don't understand. It's like maybe limited run games were really fearing how Sony said that the people are not interested in it, and maybe they were afraid that there are going to be too many leftover copies, and they did mention that their storage warehouse is very small, so maybe they just wanted to make sure to sell every single copy. So in order to secure this, fearing that maybe people wouldn't want to buy all the copies and that they will have some unsold, they made that each person can buy up to 2 copies if they wish, so just so they could get rid of all produced collector's editions. That's what I am guessing. Maybe I'm wrong, but if that's not the reason, that I don't understand why would they do it?
I don't think it's the storage issue, because the other collector's editions for the games that also weren't selling as good were also all 1 per customer. However, what I'm thinking is, they made it 2 per customer, so in order people would sell the second one on eBay, just to prove Sony that there are people who actually are willing to spend the scalper's money. If you look on eBay, you could see that actually these kind of copies, the collector's editions especially, I am seeing some even sold for about $400.
Holy shit! This is like a price, so you can buy a console for this money and more, maybe, depending what console it is. This is insane right here. I mean, but maybe if limited run games can prove to Sony on this way that there are people interested, maybe Sony will allow them to make more copies. But the main problem is that even if Sony allows them, if they make more, they can be sued because they already said in the past that they're limited, truly limited, and once they run out, they're not gonna be restockings of those games. So it's very problematic if they make more copies. Maybe some person who's pissed off because they didn't manage to buy some game they wanted, maybe they can then sue them and claim that they're falsely advertising and making exceptions, and it can be very complicated because in these cases usually the customers win a lawsuit. So the biggest chances are if Sony decides to produce this collector's edition themselves.
Well, I'm not sure if Sony will do the collector's edition again. I honestly will doubt that, but probably what will happen is that we will see a reprint or a re-release of that Jak and Daxter in physical form from Sony or from Naughty Dog themselves. We've seen that with Wonder Boy. Before, last year, I remember there are a lot of people who are really pissed off that they didn't get their copy from Wonder Boy, and exactly a year later it got reprinted by a different company.
Yeah, that is very good that it happened, but I don't know, I just kind of feel sad for this collector's edition because it really, I've seen the pictures and it really looks nice. However, really the main problem is that the game itself is not so good. To be honest, I would rather prefer if there was a PS3 collector's edition. Now, okay, obviously there's not gonna be a PS3 collector's edition because PS3, they no longer make games for this console, from what I believe. I don't think, maybe Ubisoft makes some Just Dance PS3 game, but that's about it for PS3 games these days. But I don't know, the game just performs much better on PS3 than PS4, and it's a rather shame that that's the case because I don't know, playing Jak and Daxter on PS4 would be awesome, like without any problems.
That is quite true. However, like mentioned before, that we reworked Remaster is made by a different company.
Yeah, so we're probably not gonna see this anytime soon. The best bet is if Sony can fix their emulator for these games to be supported better with better optimization and see what happens. So, will the collector's edition truly stay very rare forever or not? Only time will tell, but from the looks of it right now, it seems like it's gonna stay like limited forever, and that we're not gonna have the chance to buy it, like for example you and me, unless we don't give money to scalpers on eBay, which I really don't wanna do. I don't know about you.
Not all hope is lost though. On Limited Run, not on their website directly but on their forum, you could put yourself on a waiting list. There are always some people who will get their orders cancelled, or I don't know what will happen, but there will always be some leftovers. Meaning, if there are some and you are on the waiting list, you could maybe get it.
We analyzed this story and we found many weird things happening, like why were people able to order 2 times, why was this produced in so low number of copies, why is Sony underestimating the potential of this franchise. It was all very interesting analysis. Thank you for joining for this video, and as for you viewers, thank you for watching and see you some other time. Bye bye.
Goodbye.